boosted up. And also, you give other incentives. You know, in tourism, as I said, if you are talking tourism, you talk about transport, we talk about food and beverage, you talk about accommodation, you talk about economic or activities that are happening. Now, there must be a coordination between transportation, food and beverage, and. I will give an example. If you look at, for example, Dubai, those guys, the Emirates, they fly perhaps more than 500 flights in a day. 500 flights. And these flights, they don't just make profit. It's not about profit, but they get money somewhere else. The state will get money from somewhere else, and that money is going to subsidize also the flights. Here in Zambia, it is very, very difficult, even within the country here, to move from one place to another place. They ask you, you are going to pay 10,000. Now, Chicha, you may have 2 kids, and your wife and you, 2 kids, they'll be charged 5,000 because they're kids. You are 10,000. You are how much? You are 30,000 just to have a flight from here to Livingstone, or a flight from here to Northern Province. You think about, first of all, 30,000. And then we reach there. Accommodation is so expensive. Food is so expensive. So for you to plan a local trip with your family, you need to have not less than 50,000 or 100,000 in your pocket. I've done it. I know what I'm talking about. Now, which person is going to afford that? That is a problem. Our friends, they've got flights. You fly, say, for example, from UK to Italy within a week. You stay there for 1 week, food, everything covered for $500. $500. Here in Zambia, it's a dream, because the government makes so in such a way that it gives a platform where there is a coordination between the agents, the transporters, the people offering food, and everything else where they are going to do sightseeing. So the whole package is brought so into a something that they can afford. And this is domestic tourism. At the same time, if it's so attractive, you will then have a lot of people who do outbound, who go to South Africa to what? They will stay inside here. The money will stay inside here. The next, what we are going to do is to make sure that we create other things that will allow people to come here. For example, let me talk about health itself. If you build powerful hospitals here, they will help. The powerful hospitals will help the Zambians. At the same time, people will be attracted to come here. There was a time, if I move over to education, there was a time a lot of people could come to our University of Zambia because it was one of the best universities. It has decayed. Nowadays, those people, they are going somewhere else, you know. So our education system has gone down, and we've lost that. So those are the things we can do to attract people. Many, many more other things that we can do to make sure that we attract the people to come to Zambia, that Zambia becomes a #1 country to visit in Africa. These things that we see in South Africa, that we see whether it's in Kenya, or that we see in Dubai or anywhere else, people have created them. People have created Joburg. People have created Cape Town. People have created Serengeti in Kenya. So what have we? We have given our staff, basically all our game management, they are not in the hands of the Zambians. Let me talk about the Kafue Flats, the Kafue Game Park, which is one of the best hunting areas, you know. Who are the people organizing or managing that? They're the Americans. The Americans, 4 powerful clubs in Americans, they're doing that. 2 power powerful clubs in South Africa. From South Africa, they are doing that. Zambians, they don't even go there. They fly in, do whatever we are doing. We don't even know. A Zambian who is there is a Kamalonda or a Kaboy who cooks and who saves. The rest, they are white people. If you see the videos on YouTube of that place, whether it's bush camp or whatever, coming from there, it is like you are in colonial days, where David Livingstone was being carried by blacks and doing it. It's happening today in these parks. We are still treated like I don't know. You know, we can't run a country and say we are saving our people, we are Zambians. No. Further even, the Kafue flats, which has been blocked to say this is a game reserve area, is the best place for farming. That's the best place. It's got water, it's got what? You can do farming throughout the year. So besides losing money which is going to these tourism countries, tourism organizations coming from other countries, besides losing that, we also lose the powerful land that we can use for agriculture. So we are losing both ways, everywhere. Today, if you want to eat game meat, you should go and buy from a white guy who is managing. The guy who lives there, around there where there are animals, he cannot hunt. If he hunts even a bird, he goes in for 6 months. A European from, a white man from Europe or from America or from South Africa, he walks in there, he kills whichever animals he wants to kill, he parades with them, and he goes outside there. Who collects that money? It's not the Zambians. If the Zambians collected that money on our budget, it should have shown to say we are collecting 200 billion this year, kwacha, from the hunting activities that are happening in Zambia. Nothing of that nature. It's a problem.
All right, you're tuned into the Munthu Akambe show here on Hot 87.7. My name is Trisha Mwambe. I'm your host, and our guest is the president of the Munthu Party, Mr. Steve Nyirenda, and we're talking tourism. So, do you see this government having a plan to change how the country can make money through tourism? I mean, you've talked about so many examples of how things can be done, but do you think this government can make some plans to turn things around?
If they want, yes. It's a willpower. If they want, yes. But I believe they don't have. I believe they don't have the innovative. They don't have the capability. I believe so, because if they had the capability, they would have already demonstrated in the last 5 years. What they have demonstrated is to remove the 100 visa fee, which is a minus on us. So you remove the revenue which is already in your pocket. A person who travels from Europe to here, he doesn't care about that $100, whether he pays or not. What we need to do there is to make sure that the processing of the visa is as quickly as possible. You process the visa within 3 days, within 4 days, within 5 days, a person has got his visa. He doesn't care whether he pays $50 or $100 because he's planned already. I'm going to Zambia. Now you say, this $100 don't pay. He says, thank you. And he comes here, he doesn't even do anything. He doesn't leave any money because the money is already gone. So this government, in short to answer, they don't have the capability to innovate. They don't have the capability to think further. You cannot, I used to think that when they take over, they will make sure that slowly they bring in Zambians into the game management to manage their own stuff. Slowly they bring all these other things that Zambians can go and just watch within this. Zambia's got a lot to offer. If you see certain pictures in Zambia, you say, oh, wait a minute, is this in Zambia? It is the attraction that we are not doing. So these guys don't have that capability. These guys, they have demonstrated to us that they did not have and they do not have a vision for this country in whichever sector you want to take. Take it in every sector. Take it in transport. Take it in food and beverages and so on and so on. They don't have. They leave things the way they are. Atuzazionela monga nkuku ija kuti ukaisia kuja wazisegulira chabe, you don't feed them. That's what is happening in this country. If you can't take care of yourself, no one will. And that's a problem. The state, the government needs to facilitate so that the small businesses can thrive, and when they thrive, they will pay more taxes, and more taxes, they'll build more infrastructure. The infrastructure will push the country up.
So then what's the role of leadership in tourism for them to attract the international community for the betterment of the country?
You see, as I said before, you know, you coordinate and work with the different organs. There's transport. So there is hotels, accommodation, and food. There are agents that coordinate to make sure that they make the bookings and so on and so on. They are the Ministry which coordinate to give the visas and things like that. So, you know, if you coordinate all these things properly, that is what we call leadership. To make sure that, how can we make sure that people travel smoothly, nicely, without basically having problems? Today, if I want to go to West Africa, I have problems. I may need to go to Europe and back to West Africa. I may need to go to Addis Ababa and to West Africa. If I want to go sometimes even to just a neighboring country, it is difficult. So you coordinate that, you look into that, sit with the service providers, ask them, how can you do this thing much better? How can we help you? That's number one. Two, you come to those people who are offering food and beverage services. How can we make it to say that when people come here, they have value of their money? You know, if you go out of Lusaka here, in certain areas, it is very, very difficult for you to feed properly. You see the type of food they are offering, and you just say you are put off. There are people, I remember a friend of mine, and when we were making trips to Lanzarote, a friend of mine up to today, now he's about 65 years old. Every year he travels to Lanzarote just for the type of fish that he ate there. So the attraction there is the fish, it's the food. The attraction here can be food, but here we don't even have food. You just go and say Mozambican whatever, South African whatever. And what about Zambia? Develop your food. So all these things, they are the coordination. These things, it's a willpower of the government to put the people together, develop that. The cultural services that we're having, it's pathetic. Today and tomorrow there's Nchwala there. But look at the transportation system. For me to go there, I must think of, do I have a car? And then there's congestion and things like that. The transportation system could already have been so planned that it is cheap. You are going to have a lot of people there, and so on and so on. So people who don't have a 4,000 in the pocket or 5,000 in pocket, Nchwala cultural services becomes just a dream. More na to sort it to pangiwa. Those to sort to pangiwa. Those sorts, they were from a leopard. Do you see what it is today? Now I've diverted a bit, but because it's tourism, it's cultural. Does the government give a hand to say you will help you to make sure that you maintain? When I came in, we talked about what is being used as transport. We had our own transportation system from the tradition. Whether people were carrying the chief from that place to that place, let the chief carry let the chief be carried by the people the way it was in those days. The other way around, you are losing it. We are losing it slowly. We are drifting to the Western world. We are leaving our culture. So why should a Western person come all over from wherever he is to come and see another Western ceremony here? Because you have moved away from your cultural basis. So all these things that I'm talking about, they need to be coordinated, and there must be a think tank that sits there. That think tank, every now and then, looks deeper into the history, constructs those things, and puts them together, say, this is what it was supposed to be. If the Nchwala starts from Luangwa, when those people crossed, and when they crossed this, they were helped to cross the Zambezi, what happened? People don't even know. Let this ceremony start from there, properly the way it was. Where the people are crossing the Zambezi, they come and kill all the guys who helped them, take their women, and continue. All those things are not known. All that we know now when we talk about that is the dance. Some dance has been westernized and things like that. I'm already talking about cultural attraction. There we need to put transportation. Transport, we need to make sure that we have cheaper transport. Foodstuffs, we need to make sure that we develop our food to make sure that that's an attraction. We can go even to health. Let's create infrastructure that can allow people to come here and have a healthy tourism. We talk about education. Let's develop our universities. Let our universities be the best. We can hire the best teachers and so on and so on. And we will have people flocking here to education tourism. Those are the things that the government can come in and help to enhance the activities.
How much time would you need to do all of those things? That sounds like it's a very ambitious plan. Do you think you'd be able to do it within 5 years?
You see, Chisha, in all these sectors that I'm talking about, there are people. Can happen. That's a vision. So that vision that I have, which basically the Lord gave me, I should be able to share. When I'm talking to some people, when I'm hired to talk to some people, I start it that way. You create a vision in your own head, find people who you can work with, tell them, explain your vision in such a way that they get it, they know it exactly. If they don't get your vision, stop it there. Don't even go any further. So in every sector that I've talked about, there are people there that you explain and ask them, is that doable? They will tell you, yes, it's doable, can do it like that. Once you have done, now guys do it, I'll facilitate. Move to another sector. Transportation system. There are powerful people who are trained. They've gone to universities, some of them with a vast experience. Some of them, they're in the country, some are not in the country. If not, hire the best guy in the world, pay him that money, and he will earn that money and earn money for you. Explain the vision to them, tell them that's supposed to be done, and move to another. So you are not doing all these things yourself. You have just explained to them. The people, the Zambians will do it. As I say, only Zambians will develop this country. Not one Zambian, not two, not three, not red and black, but all of us together. Whether you are a Chinese Zambian, an Indian Zambian, a European Zambian, American Zambian, you are all Zambians. Think about Zambia, come together and develop it. The problem that we have here now is all these people that I've talked about, they are segmented. Look at the Indians. They have cartels in doing business on themselves. Look at the white people. They have cartels doing business in themselves. Look at the Chinese. They have cartels doing business on themselves. This is also leadership. The leadership, our leadership will break these cartels. We'll tell them, if you claim to be a Zambian, do business with every Zambian. Not you yourself, Chinese, you do alone. You keep the money around you yourself, and you take the money and take it to the Bank of China, which we are going to stop anyway. Bank of China will stop as long as we take over, because they must go through the normal banking system of the Zambian system. You have got the Europeans, you've got South Africans here. They are doing cartels. Zambians are excluded. Even at the mines, a South African gives to another South African, even calls him, there's a job here, come over, and they're allowed. Come over from India, they're allowed. Zambians have nothing. Zambians now, they work to Jatuamene to Kugwa pants, those crumbs that are dropping down. Those are the things that the Zambians get.
How are you going to break the cartels? How exactly? What practical steps will you take to do that?
So, you know, the biggest employer in any country is the government itself. This government has got about 10 billion or 11 billion United States dollars that it uses, that is using currently, according to their budget. This 10 billion or 11 billion, more than 50% or perhaps 75%, they have to source for services from the public. Who is supplying? It's an Indian, it's a Lebanese, it's a Chinese, it's a European, it's an American. And when they are supplying, they go to their fellow people. So for me to break that, I just started from there. To start from there, say, these services, they will be given by indigenous Zambians. But the problem is this. If you feel that there should never be a Zambian who is more wealthy than you, you will not go anywhere. Me, if I'm a leader, and I make 20, 30, 40 people who are much more wealthier than me, they will take care of me. These people, if you look at people like Dangote and many other Nigerians who are billionaires, a lot of them, they were made by some Obasanjo, and they're taking care of him. But here, it's a place where if I give Steve that, Steve will become a billionaire or a billionaire. He will come for me. That's the thinking. The thinking of a very shallow thinking. He's just thinking, Munzanga na ngombe zili 10. So, ine na ngombe zibili. Kuti ni muchile, let me kill his 9. I'll kill his 9 cow and he will remain on 1. So me, I'll become on top. We need to make sure that we create, as I was saying in my speech, we need to create Zambians as millionaires through this, through the budgeted money, through the money that the government is giving out as contracts. I can talk about the dual carriage here, which they told us it's going to cost about 600 billion. But who got that? It's the Chinese. And where did the Chinese get the money? They go to NAPSA. Who is the owner of the NAPSA money? They are Zambians. You take your money, you give to a foreigner to come and exploit you. What type of thinking is that? Not a good thinking at all. So we will make the Zambians responsible for all these things. So to answer your question, Chisha, it is doable within 2, 3, 4 years. It is doable to change these things because there are different people working on different things. If you take transport, there are people working on transport, I give them 3 years. People working on cultural services, I give them 3 years. People working on food and beverages, I give them 3 years, and so on and so on. And I go and sleep. They will wake me, I'll go to Mfuwe. Give me the reports. I can't be micromanaging as a president. I should be the one to be talking to a mayor. I should be the one talking to a permanent secretary. I should be the one talking to a minister. No, no way. I have a vision. The vision is shared. When it is shared, it is the people will do it for themselves. That's how it's supposed to be.
Let's circle back to tourism. You've criticized the way the UPND government has handled tourism, but they'll tell you that they've had success. They've hit their targets with tourist arrivals that have increased from the time that they came into power in 2021. And they'll say that's a steady sector that's growing. Their next target, I believe, is 3 million tourist arrivals. Don't you give them credit for increasing those numbers of tourist arrivals from the time that they got into power in 2021?
So I don't give them any credit.
Why?
So I'll answer it in this way. Profitability may be in two ways. From the government point, it may be a social profitability as well as monetary profitability. That's the only way of measuring profitability. What does it help me? To have even 10 million people coming to Zambia, but I don't have any income. Does it help me? It doesn't. There's no free lunch in this world. Everything that you get paid. So we have 2.5 million people. Look at their budget. They are saying we are writing 78 million kwacha, 78 million kwacha from the tourism levy. Honestly, tell me how many people are being involved, are being employed through that 2.5 million. Tell me how much money is coming in through that 2.5 million. We don't. So that 2.5 million, if we work well, we will see that the 2.5 million people are bringing at least perhaps 2 billion in this country. As I calculated before, if I collected the visa fees and 2 million people are coming in, I would have automatically 200 million already guaranteed. But this money has been given away because they have scrapped. This government is the one that scrapped the visa fee of $100 so that more people can come. More people are not coming here because of that 100. No, it's not true. If it is true, then they should show us how it is true.
So please go ahead. You can complete your thought.
Oh, well, I was just trying to qualify the sentence that they haven't done enough.
Sure.
If they say, when I started, I said, look, when they took over, there were less than 1 million people coming to Zambia. Now, there's about 2.5 million coming to Zambia. But how much have we collected? How much money have we earned? Zero.
So how would you change the system to make sure that it's not external tourism agencies that are benefiting from Zambian tourist attractions?
Zambia is for the Zambians. Only Zambians will develop this country. So give the tools to the Zambians. Let the Zambians be on top of everything. All the game management areas, they will be in the hands of the Zambians. You know, these guys, they come here, they make, you and me were coming from the media. You know, the late, may his soul rest in peace, the late Erohiki, he did a lot of productions, powerful productions, tourism productions, animal, want, people, land, and so on and so on. Unfortunately, you can't see those things. Perhaps they were not given for digitization. That is a huge, huge sector for making money. You go on National Geographics, you see a clip that was made in Zambia from A up to Z. No Zambian is mentioned. They don't even mention that they did this in Zambia, but you can tell. They make billions and billions. And here we are suffering. If Chisha, you and me, we are contracted to say no one who comes here can film the world without you and me. Chisha, you and me, we can become billionaires by just filming our wildlife. Because every production that is being made, you and me will collect $1, $2, $3 throughout the world. Imagine how much money that is. But they are sleeping. There's nothing like that. You know? So that 2.5 million people, they come here, they do their own thing, they take it out there, then they come and sell it back to us. National Geographic, you must pay in order to see. But they came here, they got our stuff for nothing. So those are some of the things that I'm talking about. To say, when you say you have now 2.5 million people, next year you say you want to have 3 million people, what is it that you are going to get as a country? Nothing. Our people are suffering. Those people that are living, go to Mfuwe there, they are suffering. And they have employed the people around. If they smell something like bushmeat in your house, they come and get you. Whether they have seen it or not, you are in prison. When the animals there, they eat the foodstuffs of the people. They go into the fields, eat. So animals are better than human beings. Here in Zambia, the best places where we can do our farming and feed the whole Africa, it is in the hands of the white people from foreign countries. We can't. And then you say, I've got 2.5 million coming here, I've achieved my goal. No, your goal is to make more money, and that more money, make sure you give the services to the Zambians. So if I make more money, I will make sure I make better infrastructure for Zambians. I make better hospitals for Zambians, better schools for Zambians, because I would have earned. Tourism, when you handle it properly, it is like a tap which has got abundance water. Once you open, the dollars, the kwachas will just be dropping down if you handle it properly. 30 years ago, I went to Dubai. I saw how Dubai was. There was nothing. 2 roads crossing. You go there now. Look what is there. It's the creativity, the powerful government. We can do the same here.
Now, Mr. Nyirenda, when we change our political grounds, do you think, do we show a good character for the tourists to visit our country?
Yes. First of all, the good character is already there, because Zambians are very peaceful people. Zambians are very good people. You in certain villages, when you go there, they will even move away from your bedroom and let you sleep in your bedroom, sleep in their bedroom when you are there overnight. That's how good they are. But they are being taken for granted. It is our government systems that are taking the Zambians for granted. Otherwise, we are very, very good people in terms of hospitality. So if the government puts the infrastructure, levels the grounds, teaches the people, and gives the people the authority to run their own businesses properly by actually embracing them, putting them under them, protecting them, Zambia can be one of the best countries in the world in terms of tourism. That's where it is. We are good people.
Okay. All right, we're coming to a close soon. Tell us, what's the latest when it comes to alliances? Are you still standing on, joining an alliance? What's the latest there, sir?
I still stay. No one political party right up now can overtake or can push the incumbent UPND away. Never. They are lying to themselves. So if I say I'm going to stay here and do it myself, whether I've got the resources, so much resources or not, no, it will not work. It is us together, literally together. But Zambians, be careful outside there. You see, I will quote Socrates, one of
the philosopher,
biggest philosopher ever. He was, at the end of the day, killed because people did not believe in what he was saying. He believed. He never believed, of course, in perhaps democracy and things like that. But he just said, people who want to choose or to choose something for themselves, they must get to know it. You see, let me say this. Here in Zambia, we like worshipping thugs. We say popularism. Munthu Akambe very much popular. What has this person done? Look at him. Yes, you are popular, but is this person literally able to do it? So look at this person much more deeper. What has this person done? It's not, if we go for populace, if we go for people who are very well known because I've done this, I've talked bigger and things like that, there's nothing. They say an empty bucket makes louder noise.
Empty tin.
Empty tin, it makes louder noise. So what I'm saying, for us to be able to come together and have the proper leadership, we need to scrutinize ourselves properly, come together, and then tell our people to say, look, this is what we are going to do.
But then you're saying what Zambians like to worship thugs.
Yes.
Who are these thugs that you're talking about?
Well, I'm not going to here to mention names of people and things like that, but we have seen people stealing in this country, big time. We've seen corruption, big time. We've seen fighting, big time. We've seen all sorts of vandalism, what, plundering the national resources. Even today, it's there. And then a person is being worshipped to say he's the best person, he's the most popular person. No, it shouldn't be. This is what I mean. And when I say this, I don't not only mean in Zambia alone. Generally, the Africans do worship thugs to lead them. And when they lead them, they can't get the services, they start crying foul. You know? And we've seen it. We've seen it all. We've seen the stealing. We've seen the people who basically has got no remorse for the Zambian people. No remorse for the people who have voted for them. But can't we learn a lesson? Can't we sit down and guys to say, look, this is not the way to go. Let's find people in our society. We have people in our society who are straight, who can do the things in a better way. And this is myself, when I'm looking for people to partner with, I'm looking for such people.
What's your message to a Zambian out there who maybe is undecided about going to the polls? We always have some voter apathy. What's your message to that Zambian listening now?
All Zambians, let's go and vote. All Zambians, let's go and vote. Let's go. You have your own decision, but me, I will tell you. What I will tell you is what I hear on the street. Where people they say they know who not to vote for. Don't stay at home. All of us, let's go and vote, and we should vote UPND out of the office. Because they are not giving us what we voted for them for. Because what they promised us, they are not fulfilling. And that is the reason for me. That's the reason why I sit here, I say, let's go to vote, all of us. We should go. We should carry our tea cups. We should carry our chairs. We should carry even Mbaula to pick, if I'm going to sleep on the queue, let me go and sleep on the queue for the sake of voting UPND out of office. They must go out. They must. If we want this country to be better, they must go out in August.
Final thoughts.
Zambia is for Zambians always. And you Zambians outside there, it's only you who can develop this country. Only you and no one else. Anybody who comes, they will come to get and go back. And that's what we do. If you go to Dubai, you go and buy and come back here. If the guy from there comes from there here, he will come and take and go back there. There is no one who will drop from somewhere. God has given us the best land in this country. He's given us the brains in this country. We use our brains with our best land to get what we have and be able to develop this country for our future generation.
Mr. Nyirenda, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Zambia for Zambians. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, this has been the Munthu Akambe show here on Hot 87.7. This show is brought to you by the Munthu Party. And today, I've been speaking to the president of the Munthu Party, that is Mr. Steve Nyirenda. Catch the show every Friday here on Hot FM at 9 hours. Well, stay tuned to Hot 87.7.
Views and expressions on this program.